Hello and a very warm welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to Global TV News Circle here in Nigeria's capital, Abuja. I am Fauziya Lukman. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu will on Wednesday present the 2024 budget to a joint session of the National Assembly. This was made known by the Secretary of Research and Information at the National Assembly, Ali Bardo Umaru, in the National Assembly on Monday. He stated this while confirming the budget presentation to journalists and requesting a list of those to be allowed into the chamber ahead of the budget presentation. Tinubu had 3 weeks ago forwarded to both chambers of the National Assembly the 2024-2026 medium-term expenditure framework and fiscal strategy paper, where the sum of 27.5 trillion naira was proposed as a total expenditure profile for the 2024 fiscal year. The Senate, through its Committee on Finance, after 2 weeks of interaction sessions with the head of ministries, departments, and agencies on revenue and expenditure projects made for them approved by the MTEF. It specifically approved the sum of 26.1 trillion naira proposed as 2024 budget and other parameters as proposed by the President. It also approved the new borrowings of 7.8 trillion naira Penk's benchmark oil price for 2024 as at $73.96 and oil production volume per day at 1.78 million barrels. President Bola Tinubu will again on Wednesday depart for Dubai, the United Arab Emirates, to attend the COP28 Climate Summit, also known as the 28th United Nations Climate Change Conference. This was contained in a statement signed by the President's Special Advisor on Media and Publicity, Ajuri Ingilale, revealed on Tuesday. The Leaders Summit's theme on the Act and Deliver President Bola Tinubu will advocate increased financial and technical support for the developing nations while reminding developed countries of their public pledge to provide $10 billion annually for the support of localized initiatives to address climate change-related challenges. The Minister of Solid Mineral Development, Dele Alake, has offered lower production costs and untapped mineral resources as part of the fresh incentive to prospective foreign investors. The minister gave the offer at the Mines and Money Conference held in London on Tuesday, according to a statement signed by his special advisor, Kehinde Bamigbatan Alake, addressing global stakeholders in the mining industries, pitched for more investment in Nigeria, listing unique advantages such as lower production costs due to surface mining and billions of dollars in untapped minerals, one strike others. Alake said the current administration had embarked on reforms to build investment by streamlining procedures and reducing hurdles to attract foreign investors. He also quoted recent reports that mining's contributions to Nigeria's GDP rose from 0.3% to 0.85% last year, indicating 0.63% year-on-year growth. Alake further urged investors to support the socio-economic development of the communities with a mind to take mining mutual beneficial. Minister of Information Tahir Mamman has called for judicious use of $1.2 billion World Bank loan to tackle adolescent girls' education in Nigeria. Mamman stated this in Abuja on Tuesday while inaugurating the National Steering Committee of Adolescent Girls Initiative for Learning and Empowerment Agile project. The Agile National Project Coordinator Amina Haruna said focus was to improve secondary education amongst girls in targeted areas in participating states. Haruna listed the 18 participating states as Adamawa, Bauchi, Borno, Ekiti, Gombe, Jigawa, Kaduna, Kano, Katsina, Kebbi, Kogi, Kwara, Nasarawa, Niger, Plateau, Sokoto, Yobe, and Zamfara State. She said over 2.4 million girls benefited from the program across 7 states, and also Shubham Chaudhry, the World Bank Country Director of Nigeria, disclosed that while $500 million was initially approved by the bank, another approval of $700 million has brought the facility to $1.2 billion. The Minister of State Police Affairs, Imam Suleiman Ibrahim, has empowered no fewer than 500 women of Nasarawa State origin with grinding and sewing machines in order to cushion the effect of fuel subsidy removal and to make them self-reliant. Speaking during the distribution on Tuesday in Kefi local government state area of the state, the minister said the gesture was in line with President Bola Tinubu's administration's desire to boost small and medium-scale enterprises in the country. While urging beneficiaries to make good use of the machine, Suleiman Ibrahim, who is also an indigene of the state, appealed to all residents to continue to give the needed support for the Tinubu administration to enable him serve them better. The chairman of the Administration and Finance Committee AFC of the Economic Community of West African State ECOWAS, Yakubu A. Daudu, has presented a draft of 2024 consolidated community budget of 397,250,748 units of account UE. Before ECOWAS parliamentary for consideration, the budget presented before the parliament on Tuesday, however, represented a decrease of 5% compared to that of 2023, which was 480,672,484 units of the account. The 2023 budget saw an increase of about 24,460,009 units of account, while representing 6% when compared to the approved budget of 2022 of the sum of 393,612,400 units of account. Consequently, the Parliament referred to it as the ad hoc committee set up by the plenary in accordance with the parliamentary rule of procedure. The committee is chaired by the first Deputy Speaker of the ECOWAS Parliament, Ahmed Idris Wasi. It was expected to scrutinize the draft budget and report to the plenary with its opinion and recommendations for adoption. The 2024 draft budget allocated 23,250,934 units of account to ECOWAS Parliament, 6,417,047 units of account to the ECOWAS Court of Justice, 62,689,949 units of account to West African Health Organization, and 12,017,701 units of account to Intergovernmental Group Against Money Laundering. The Office of the Auditor General ECOWAS commissioned special programs and interventions in member states and peace security. The Nigerian Correctional Service Enugu State Command says it has registered 1,137 inmates for the National Examination Council of Nigeria NECO examination exams in the last 12 years. This was disclosed by the Controller of Corrections, Nicholas Obiako, on Tuesday in Enugu. The controller said that 124 inmates were taking the ongoing NECO external examination at the Special Study Center within Enugu Custodial Center, adding that the 3 custodial centers in the state comprising Enugu, Nsukka, and Oji River have been doing well as far as the educational pursuit and formation of inmates were concerned. The national capital, Abuja, is host of multi-stake roundtable discussion on the collective responsibilities for ensuring the safety of journalists in Nigeria. The stakeholders unanimously agree that journalists in the country do not receive the required support and protection deserved from the government and relevant state actors. Global TV's correspondent Anthony Mamodu gives us details.
Leonard Ostergaard, resident representative Frederick Stiff-Tongue, Nigeria, in his opening remarks expressed belief in the strides and contributions of the media in nation building, thus the need to protect journalists. On his part, the Executive Director Media Rights Agenda, Edeton Ojo, says Nigeria has made zero progress on the safety of journalists despite local and foreign efforts to safeguard journalists.
I think we've met at a critical juncture where the safety and security of journalists demand our unwavering attention and collaborative action, not just in Nigeria but worldwide.
We see an escalating situation of attacks against journalists in different parts of the country, and the numbers that we're seeing actually indicate that the number of journalists being attacked are on the rise. So the reason we're having this is to agree on a framework that can be used to address this problem.
Dayton warned that if journalists don't feel safe and secure to do their work, the country will be worse for it. Other journalists also bear their minds on the challenges faced.
If journalists do not feel safe and secure and therefore able to do their work, the country is going to be worse off for it. So if we can create an environment where journalists feel safe, where they feel secure, where they're not harassed or intimidated and they're able to do their work, then obviously citizens are going to be getting a lot more reliable and useful information.
Attacks on journalists are quite problematic. The numbers are troublesome. The ones we even see that are reported, the ones we see online, is nothing compared to the ones that happen offline. It's also nothing compared to the ones that happen that are not reported or underreported. For fear of repercussion, for fear of retribution, some people do not even report.
If anything happens to you in the line of duty, you are also supposed to let us know. Report such to the union, and we take it up as a union.
One of the high points of the gathering was the presentation on press attacks via geopolitical zones, which shows that 20 to 30% of journalists killed happened in the southeast, with 84 attacks.
From 1986 to 2023, we've been able to track and verify 1,034 journalists have been attacked over the years. And these attacks include physical attacks, unlawful imprisonment, slaps, fines, sanction, unlawful arrest, equipment damage, seizure, and even murder.
And the women, attacks on women are not that unreported.
There are also some attacks that really don't get to the news, which will now behove on the victim to speak out.
The multi-stakeholders posit that for the Nigerian government to meet her international commitment to treaties and parts to protect journalists in the country, the Nigerian government and relevant state actors must be deliberate in protecting journalists at all costs. Anthony Momodu in Abuja, Global Television News.
The Kano State Command of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, has destroyed over 15.7 tons of narcotic drugs and other psychotropic substances seized in the last 3 years. The command's public relations officer, Sadiq Megatari, disclosed this in a statement issued on Monday. He also said the destruction operation covered the period from October 8, 2020 to October 17, 2023. He maintained that the substances include cannabis sativa, cocaine, psychotropic substances, methamphetamine, barbiturates, and assorted expired drugs. He reiterated the agency's commitment to eradicating illicit drugs in every local government by establishing divisional narcotic officers as approved by its chair and chief executive officer, Brigadier General Mohammed Buba Marwa, retired. You're watching Global TV News Circle, coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We are on Startime channel 276. Kindly follow us across social media platforms using @GlobalTVNG and other handles now showing on your screen. When the News Circle's returns, UN's military aircraft with 8 crew crashes off Japan. The news continues shortly with details of this and other stories right after this short break. Please don't go away. Welcome back to Global Television, bringing you live broadcasts of the News Circle from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. And a quick look on the foreign scene. A U.S.-operated military aircraft with 8 crew on board crashed on Wednesday off the coast of Japan, the Coast Guard said. The island of Yakushima lies south of Japan's southmost main island, Kyushu. Report has it that Osprey departed from the Ikurini U.S. base in the Yamaguchi region, headed for the Kadena base in Okinawa. The tilt-rotor Osprey aircraft has troubled history with a string of fatal crashes over the years. An elevator carrying workers to the surface of the giant South African platinum mine plunged out of control, killing 11 and injuring 75. The mine operator says on Tuesday. Impalatium says the devastating accident happened on Monday as it Rosberg's mine northwest of Johannesburg, as more than 80 employees were leaving the shaft at the end of their shift. The alert was raised shortly before 5 p.m. as the lift unexpectedly started descending. According to the company, rescue operations have been completed and all the 86 employees involved were accounted for. It added, Implant says all operations at the mine were suspended on Tuesday as an investigation into the accident went ahead. Hurricane force winds and snowfall has left 10 people dead and 23 people, including children, were injured in the Ukraine, piling pressure on emergency services and an energy grid already burdened by the Russian invasion. The storm has lashed swaths of south of the country as well as the Crimean Peninsula that was annexed by the Kremlin and regions in the South Asian. Ukraine's energy grid and resource service have been overextended by Russia's nearly two-year invasion. The ministry says the hardest hit area was the southern Odessa region, where emergency services says they have provided assistance to nearly 2,005 people. Authorities had earlier said the storm had left 5 people dead. Chinese leader Xi Jinping on Tuesday has ordered greater protection for the international farm rights and intellectual property as Beijing works to law in foreign companies spooked by a crackdown and an ailing economy. US and European firms in China have said that doing business is harder than ever as geopolitics and anti-epicene law raised on the multinationals and favorable treatment for domestic competitors weigh on morale. Xi, in a written speech to the APEC summit of the chief executive this month, invited firms to invest, promising heartwarming measures to make it easier for the foreign companies to invest and operate in China. Foreign entrepreneurs have long complained about vague and arbitrary regulations in China, chief among them being intellectual property theft, an issue raised by U.S. officials during visit to China this year. U.S. and European enterprise lobbies warned in September that foreign business confidence in China had reached its lowest in a year as slowing growth and geopolitical tensions hit investment prospects. And in sport, Nigerian wing Samuel Chukwueze scored his first goal for AC Milan in their UEFA Champions League match against the Borussia Dortmund in the San Siro on Tuesday. Chukwueze leveled the result of Rossoneri on the night after 37th minute with a spectacular solo effort dribbling past 2 BDB players before smashing a low shot right into the bottom corner. Milan earlier had chance to open the scoring, but Oliver Giroud missed his penalty in the 6th minute as he was denied by Gregor Kobel. Marcus Rose then scored the opener with a penalty of his own in the 10th minute, sending his effort into the top left. Striker Hwang Jung-un has been suspended by South Korea 7 weeks before the Asian Cup because of police investigation into allegation he illegally filmed an ex-girlfriend. Hwang played for South Korea in 2 World Cup qualifiers this month, scoring a penalty against Singapore, but the Korean Football Association on Tuesday suspended him pending the outcome of the police investigation. Lee Yeon-nam, who heads the KSF Ethics Committee, told reporters that the national player must conduct themselves with a high degree of morality and responsibility. That's it on Global TV News Circle. We are on StarTime channel 276. Kindly follow us across social media platforms using @GlobalTVNG and other handles now showing on your screen. On behalf of the production team, I am Fawzia Lukman, thanking you so very much for